Tony Blair's former spin doctor Alastair Campbell was up against Reform UK's Alex Phillips on BBC for a Brexit debate. And let's just say he ended up throwing a tantrum. It's been years since we voted to leave the European Union, and the BBC are still obsessed with inviting the likes of Alastair Campbell or John Mahyar or Tony Blair to give them their thoughts on how Brexit Britain is going. Yeah, the fundamental lies of British politics continue to get platformed by the mainstream media outlets. But this debate was between Alastair and Alex. Now, Reform UK's Alex Phillips, who used to be a former MEP in Brussels for the Brexit Party as well, they had a big clash. Alastair Campbell was claiming that all those EU laws over the last few decades that were imposed onto us by Brussels, actually, you should blame the UK Parliament because we had sovereignty, as if we could actually have a real say on those laws without getting sanctioned by the European Union. He was claiming that, it was democracy. We did it. No, we didn't. And if we had done it, if we had made any vetoes or changed, we would be in trouble with Brussels. So he decided to have this debate, and eventually he had a bit of a meltdown. Let's get into it.
About 260,000 EU laws are in UK statutes, and they'd found 4,000 down the back of the sofa they wanted to do something about.
Yeah, but they're laws that were passed by UK Parliament.
They were, but they weren't able to be properly scrutinised. No amendments were able to be. No amendments were able to be made. Those laws were not made by the British people for the British people. Of course they weren't. I've sat in that Parliament. I was elected to it. Don't try and pretend I don't know how the EU system works.
I'm talking about our Parliament enacts EU law.
Of course it does.
They are
not
EU laws passed down.
Look, we have no say in it.
I'm not actually denying that. But what the point of this is...
So don't say that they're laws that have been imposed on us by Brussels. They've been enacted by UK Parliament and government.
There was no way as a member of the EU. There was no way as a member of the EU to reject them. And you know that as well as
your
I do.
Your MPs here could. That's what made it sovereignty here.
We're going down a rabbit hole, and this is a pointless debate.
That's because you all talk such rubbish when you come on these programmes.
Firstly, Alex Phillips could have done much better in this debate because she's not actually making the proper argument that no, we couldn't have any say, even when it comes to UK Parliament and our MPs. She keeps allowing him to win that argument on that front, but now he's going to throw a tantrum. It's great.
Excuse me, that's just unnecessarily rude.
But it's true.
You should be so
I'm sorry.
arrogant. You haven't actually let me talk, so if you would let me talk, perhaps you might agree with me.
Well, let her finish, and then I will come back to you.
Because I don't think you're, particularly being a good contributor right now, because you're just being essentially rude.
Don't make the pun.
Will any of these people who fought so hard for Brexit ever face up to their own responsibility and face the fact that what they all promised was a pack of lies, what they all promised was never going to work? None of you have ever brought forward a plan that says this is Brexit and this is how it works without damaging us here in the UK. And when I say you talk nonsense, let me finish.
There we go.
All of those laws that you talked about were enacted by elected British governments and elected British parliaments.
We do not elect government in this country, Alastair.
The fact that you in Europe couldn't do anything about it underlines that the sovereignty lay here. So all your lies about taking back control, more money for the NHS, sovereignty, immigration, the rest of it, you have failed on every
I knew you were going to come up with, the money for the NHS. Nothing to do with me, not my campaign. And it's very rich, a man who essentially was part of telling lies to invade a country, to accuse me of dishonesty.
I think you might have lost the argument there, my dear. If I may patronise even more. Honestly.
No, that's it now.
Yes, I will.
No, that's it. No, that's it.
No, sorry. You bring these people on. You never challenge them. You let them talk utter rubbish about Brexit. And it's happened on the BBC for year after year after year.
OK. I am not going to take that from you. With respect, Mr. Campbell. Thank you.
You don't have to.
Thank you very much for being on the programme.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming on the
programme.
He decided to just start having a go at anybody who was in the room at that point. He just started lashing out at Victoria Derbyshire, of all people. Oh, it was absolutely hilarious to see that meltdown. If there was anybody else, if there was a cleaner in the studio, just like standing in the corner, he would have probably attacked him as well, saying, yeah, you too. Who did you vote for? Absolutely brilliant. So we had some reaction after that event last night. Alastair Campbell decided to come back and make more statements. Firstly, we had Alex Phillips, who tweeted, I came off air shaking at his rudeness. Quite astonishing. Let's have a political debate, but this was outright bullying, intimidation, and frankly, thinly veiled misogyny. I don't think it was actually thinly veiled. It was very obvious. I would feel quite ashamed of myself if I acted like that on air. It was not a good look. Then you had a reaction from Alastair Campbell replying to this. Oh my God. He said, accepted that it was not exactly disagreeing agreeably. But I think every now and then, people who are given a free ride to talk absolute nonsense and face no responsibility for their role in damage to the nation are challenged. Added to which I wish I had known about your... Yeah, and then it continues to just talk about nonsense. He claims, and people like Alastair Campbell claim, that Brexiteers were not scrutinised from the beginning until now. Are you kidding me? Whether it was the bus, the £350 million, or any other claim, anything that happened since then, it was the BBC, Sky News, the political establishment. Everybody scrutinised it. Everybody held it to account. Everybody decided to have a smear campaign against it. In fact, your own Remain side, when George Osborne and David Cameron were going around saying you'll be worse off if you vote to leave the European Union, £4,300, whatever, per household. We're going to have the third world conflict, and we're going to have this, we're going to have famine, we're going to have the end of the war. All that wasn't really scrutinised. Everything else the Brexiteers said was scrutinised. So Ramonas keep going out there saying, well, people were lied to. They were tricked because they were given one side of the argument. Are you kidding me? Anytime the Brexit campaign said something, people, the same voters that you're calling stupid, were also informed about the other side, the Remain side, the BBC, the establishment, the IMF, the Bank of England, completely told the voters the other side of the argument, which was actually that side was also full of lies. But now they're saying, well, people were lied to. Yeah, by you. Anyway, he also said, it continued that tweet saying, by your Cambridge Analytica history. Anyway, nice to meet you, Alex. Next time we can go into detail on your claim that Brexit has improved living standards for the poor. Then he decided to send out an apology. Apology. But not to Alex Phillips. To his friend, Victoria Derbyshire. Saying, regarding Victoria Derbyshire, apologise to her afterwards. She's one of the best. But it is infuriating to seek to debate serious issues with people who, despite all the damage their beloved Brexit has done, continue to talk absolute rubbish. For example, about how EU law was made, or... oh, and then it continues. I'm not going to keep reading Alastair Campbell's tweets. It's on Twitter if you want to check it out. But I think we need to take a quick break. We need to go get a drink. And we need to just think about how Brexit and Brexiteers are living in their heads rent-free every single day. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support. Don't forget, actually, Sunday, as of this Sunday at 9 p.m, we are launching a new live show right here on this channel. We're going to have the Sunday live streams with a proper structure, and we're going to have you guys actually participating as well during that live stream, especially the members of the channel. If you want to become a member, click on the join button underneath this video. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.